Welcome to Why Diets Don't Work and What to Do Instead. The weight loss industry is invested in your failure, not in your success. It's invested in you losing weight only to regain it, usually with a bit extra, so that you can stay stuck in the cycle of looking for the next shiny object that is going to be the solution for you. So maybe this time you'll think it's going to be different. The truth is that if food restriction was a long-term solution to weight loss, the weight loss industry wouldn't be worth $250 billion. Going on a restrictive diet is a bit like going to your doctor and having your doctor say, I can treat this for you, but the medication that I'm going to give you is unfortunately probably going to leave you worse off in the long run than what you are now. You wouldn't do that, would you? Well, that's exactly what the weight loss industry promises. So what are the alternatives? Well, first, let's just talk about why it is that whole system doesn't work. Because it relies on discipline, it relies on willpower, and mostly it relies on restriction. And restriction is about punishing. Because essentially, you are the message that you get when you restrict your food is that you need to be punished for being a glutton, not having enough discipline, not being, health aware enough, not being woke enough, not being beautiful enough, whatever. So essentially, it is a punitive system, and you know that nothing thrives from being punished constantly. And our bodies are exactly the same. They need to be nourished in order to function optimally. So what can we do instead? Well, I have a few suggestions. The first is what I've just spoken about. We need to learn to start nourishing ourselves to health rather than punishing ourselves to health. And how can we do this? Well, the first step is to appreciate that our focus, not our attitude, or our willpower, or our discipline affects our reality or creates our reality. Our focus creates our reality. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's where's your attention? Where are you putting your attention? Now, you may think that you're putting your attention on losing weight when you're on a restrictive diet, but your attention is actually on the excess weight. The reason why you're on the diet in the first place is because there's too much weight, and because you hate the weight, and because you hate the way the weight makes you look, and you hate the way the weight makes you feel. So where is your focus? It's on the weight. It's not on the health and beauty. It's on losing the weight. And so your focus keeps on creating your reality. Our focus by default is on all our limitations, specifically our core limiting beliefs that develop in early childhood in the first 3 years of our lives. And they are tricksy because they're unconscious, and we don't even know that that's where our focus is. And so we need to uncover those unconscious limiting beliefs. And more importantly, we need to uncover the compensatory strategies or the coping mechanisms that you just take for granted as being part of who you are, normal behavior for you. They're not normal behavior for you. They've become habitual for you. But that doesn't mean that you can't actually shift your focus. But you can't shift your focus until you recognize where it is. The second principle is that if we keep on setting goals from this limited place of our ego, from our limited beliefs like I'm unworthy and I'm not good enough and I don't belong and I'm invisible and I have to compensate for all of this and I have to fix myself, then we're going to keep on creating circumstances that are going to reflect the truth of what we believe about ourselves, which means we're going to keep on repeating the same old pattern over and over and over. So how do we do this differently? Well, we learn how to connect to our higher selves. We learn how to connect to what our souls are longing to express relative to our health and beauty. And we do that through our intuition. Now, if I'm about to lose you at this point because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to know anything about intuition. Quite frankly, I'm one of the most concrete, straight, it's only real if you can see it and touch it kind of people. So if I can learn how to access my intuition, so can you. And we can only access that part of us that truly is longing to express itself, the part that is free of all limitations, through our intuition and our imagination. And there is a way to do that. And so once we have that soul goal, and we can recognize what our limiting beliefs are and how they're tripping us up, then we can shift our focus. And that brings me to the third principle. We need to remove the resistance to shifting our focus, because if it was that easy, we'd all be doing it. But the fact of the matter is our previous traumas, our lack of being able to feel our feelings fully, our lack of understanding about energy in our body, all of these things actually cause resistance, and that resistance traps our energy, and that actually stops us from being able to shift our focus. So instead of using your discipline and willpower to restrict your food choices, punish yourself, create more guilt and shame around what your body looks and feels like, why not try something different? If you are ready to step into that difference, then I have something that you may love. And it's called the Whole Body Reset Program. It's a 6-week online group coaching program that teaches you body love, health, and freedom without restrictive diets, of course. So if you're interested, drop freedom in the comments. I'll be in touch. and I will let you know how it is that you can go about signing up for this program. The next one starts on the 8th of January 2023. It might not be a fit for you, but if it is, I would love to see you there.